In this video, I'm going to be taking you through my 4-2-3-1 custom tactics. And when I tell you this, alright, these tactics are so good. Like, so good. And why they are so good is because the 4-2-3-1 is possibly the easiest formation to use on FIFA. Because the reason why for this is because it's so well balanced in defense and attack. It doesn't matter which way you're going. It's basically 4-4-2. It's so easy to use. Doesn't matter what you do with it, it's just so sick. And I'm going to be taking you through the custom tactics that I have made. I have spent a week making these. Like, I have worked so hard on trying to perfect these, and I think I finally found tactics that work so well. So let me first explain the type of players you're going to want for this. So I am currently in the 4-4-1-1. Please do ignore that. That's just I do change in game, but sorry, I'm out of breath for some reason. But if we go to not custom tactics, I'm going to go formation and I'll show you what it looks like in game. So I think everyone knows what a 4-2-3-1 is. It's actually a formation that wasn't really popular, I think, till about FIFA 20. But if I go here and then you go there we go. So with this formation, the best way I like to describe it is you have three layers. Right, we don't include Ronaldo up top because the problem with a striker is they're pretty much useless defensively. And when I say three layers, I mean sort of defensively because, like, you have the cams, then you have the CDMs, then you have the fullbacks. No, not fullbacks, the back line. And why I like this formation is because once you can press them quite well with these three cams here. And then you sort of disrupt their attacking rhythm. And then once they try and pass to their strikers running in behind, and then have to get past these two geezers here, so our CDMs, and these cause a lot of problems when they're trying to do through balls in behind. And then you also have the back four, and that's sort of why I like this formation. That's probably the best way to like dumb it down. And then when you're in the attack, you sort of dominate the game with this formation. It's very easy to pass it around, very easy to control possession. And that's sort of what these tactics are based around. You're going to be controlling the game. You're going to be on the ball. You're going to be absolutely dominating your opponent. They're not really going to get many chances because you're not going to let them. And then you're just going to absolutely batter them. And hopefully they'll be off by half time because you're going to be 7-0 up anyway. So let me explain to you how to become an absolute beast with this formation. So if we go back to my 4-4-1-1 formation, if I go there now, there we go. Right, let's get into the oh, I've gone away. Sorry. Let's get into the absolute beastliness that is custom tactics. So, I want to go there. Right. Defensive style. We want to press after possession loss. And the reason why we do this is because when you lose the ball, we want to get the ball back as soon as possible to then continue absolutely pummeling our poor opponent's goal. He's going to not even know what's hit him. And we want to get that ball back as quick as possible. But also, we don't want to be constantly putting pressure on because then our players are going to be everywhere. They're going to be out of position. We do not want that one bit. So what this thing does, this defensive style, is you'll press for 7 seconds. You'll absolutely squeeze the life out of your opponent. But if you then fail to win the ball back, instead of just throwing the kitchen sink at them, after 7 seconds, your team then chill out, go back into their defensive position, become absolute brick walls, and then we just defend the normal way by sort of just allowing them to fuck up. That's what we're going to do. So, we want this, yeah? Press after possession loss. Very important. Now, width. Width is going to be 40 because we don't want it to be too wide. We don't want it to be too narrow. I've tried wide, and it feels like you have to do like these most complicated passes to even make anything. But too narrow, you just haven't got any options. So 40 is probably fine. You can probably go 50. I'll probably say anywhere between 40 to 50 is fine. Depth. Now, I've been trying to play with low depth. I actually tried 30 at one point. I was like, do you know what? Let's just see what it's like. And what I found was the lower the depth, the worse it is to actually conceding goals. Now, I know that sounds weird, but let me explain to you. So if you go down to 30, what will happen is your centre-backs will still press up to the halfway line, even though they're on low depth. But as soon as your opponent then gets the ball back, your players will then try and run back to that 30 depth. But because defenders have different pace stats, and like players have different pace stats, your defenders will get back quicker than others. And what this does is this completely just opens up all these gaps everywhere, and then you can just get played through so easily. And then also, when you then want to do the press after possession loss, if your defenders are like running back to their goal and like running their own box, then the press is going to be absolutely useless. But 40 to 60 is absolutely fine, and what they'll do is your CDMs will press the life out of them, and then if they win the ball back and it like bounces off them, your centre back would then just go and clear it, and it just works so much better. You just don't want to go on low depth on this game. To be honest, if I'm wait 1 minute, there you go. If I'm being honest, you can even play 60. I was playing 60 at one point and it felt amazing. So anywhere between 40 and 60 is absolutely fine. Right, build up play. We want to be unbalanced. It just works. I can't really explain why it works. I don't really understand why it works, but it just does. I like long ball, but that's more for counter-attacks. So because we are absolutely going to dominate our opponents and just make them hate their life, we want it to be unbalanced. And talking about making them hate their life, we're going to absolutely pass the living hell out of our opponents with direct passing. So what your players will do is they'll run into open space, make all the passing easier. We're going to absolutely just pass it around, tiki-taka style, make our opponents hate their life. They're going to get angry, they're going to get frustrated, they're going to fly in for tackles, all because you're so much better than them, because you can pass it around. You're going to score some sexy ass goals because you're just going to pass it around everywhere, here, there and there. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and you'll see what I mean when you go in game. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But also, so although players will come to feet for this, your strikers. So we want strikers with outstanding attack positioning, because what they will do is they're going to then make these beautiful runs in behind, find all the space everywhere, here, there and everywhere, and they're going to absolutely tear your opponent apart. So your midfielders are going to play absolutely lovely, coming to feet, making the pass simples, and your attackers are going to be making these beautiful runs in behind, absolutely tearing them apart. Direct passing is so good, trust me, it's so good. Width, we want width to be on 50. No more, no less. If it's too narrow, there's no options. If it's too wide, it's too hard to make a pass. So players in the box, 3's fine. 3 is honestly all you need. You kind of want players outside the box, so if your opponent then like clears it with like a poor header, you can then get it outside the box. And then if you want it, and then you need options outside the box as well, so you can pass it out there and then maybe recycle the attack. If we have too many, you're just going to get absolutely battered on the counter. If we have too little, you're not going to create any chances. So 3 is a perfect amount. Corners and free kicks, you don't want many people in there. 2 is fine. If you go up any more, you'll get absolutely battered on the counter attack. So 2 is perfectly fine on both of these. So now let's go to the instructions. Right, let's begin with our wing backs. So we want the wing back to be quite defensive. My one is Gosens. He can do everything, but we want him to play left back. Right back, we're going to have Marcos Llorente, and he's going to be balanced attack. And both wing backs will be overlapping. Full backs. And the reason why we want Llorente on balanced attack is because we want one player to be making advances up the pitch. And the reason why we want this is because it will create an opening. When you get pressed, you're going to have that opening from Marcos Llorente. He's going to play sort of as a right mid. And he's going to create all those openings. And we don't want him on join the attack, because on join the attack, he's going to play like a right winger, just going to run up the pitch like a madman, and he'll just get marked out. But balance, he's going to make some nice little runs up and down that side, create a good option for passing, and I find it just sort of causes confusion because people don't really expect it. And then if your opponent sort of cottons onto it and puts a player up there, and you're noticing that he's sort of he's taken advantage of the fact your wing back has gone up the pitch, just pause it and stay back while attacking. Simple as that. CDMs. Okay, don't want Carrera there, but Valverde is supposed to be here. I think it's because I changed it in game. And then Fakir's, but for God's sake, 1 minute, let me sort this out. Carrera's there. We want Danjum. Let's be over there. Cool. Right, so for our CDMs, we're going to want one to be attacking. So he's going to be on balanced attack. Defensive behaviour, both of them are going to be on cut passing lanes, because it will just, as it says, they'll just cut passing lanes, and it sort of defends it for you, so you don't have to do much defending with these guys. Valverde, we want him on cover wing, because when Llorente goes up, he'll then cover that wing back position, sorry, the full back position. And then Kessie, cut passing lanes, stay back whilst attacking. So he'll be like our CDM, he's going to be breaking up play. And then cover centre. So when Valverde goes up the pitch, he'll move centrally, and it will be easier to then defend both sides without Valverde being there. We want Icam to stay forward, and we don't want him to be getting in the box for cross, because we want him to be sort of in that sort of free roam role, so he can go in the box if he wants to, come outside the box if he wants to. Because the AI is so good in this game, they tend to make pretty good decisions by themselves. So we want him to be like, we want him to be able to do what he wants. He can go centrally, he can go box, he can go anywhere. Trust me, it will work better. Stay forward, but we want 2 players up front at all times. Now, Danjuma and Correa are on the exact same tactics. We want get in the box for cross and come back on defence. So this is then, we'll be able to defend with 4 players instead of 6. And it just makes defending easier, and then also they will then sprint back up into position once you win the ball back. And I feel like it helps with pressing as well. Get in the box, we want them to get into the box to then have those extra options when we're attacking. So they will be helping Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is going to be getting behind and come back on defence. Now, come back on defence, he won't come back into your midfield, he'll just come back ever so slightly, and it will just make it easier to like get the ball up to him. And then he'll be making those beautiful, lovely runs in behind. And yeah, I think that is it for this custom tactics. It's very good. Trust me, like, you got to try this out. It's very, very nice. Just like I said, you got to be vigilant with the Llorente. You have to just understand that if your opponent starts taking advantage of it, to cut that off straight away and put him on stay back whilst attacking. You don't have to have him on like that. You can just have him on stay back whilst stay back on defense the whole time. But you know, I prefer to be quite attacking. But you don't have to be. But yeah, just give this a try and let me know how you guys get along, because I have been loving hearing you guys tell me how well, you know, you've been doing with them. It just makes me feel happy, you know, I'm able to help people. But yeah, so let me know how you get on with it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.